Like a little bit this way.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a little bit.
So you like, where do I look at that?
That's our audience.
Okay.
Oh. So funny.
Alright. Amen. It's your girl coming at you with another video. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you can see, we're in a different little setting. I'm got a little guest or two pondy guys on the video. These is my cousins. These.
I am these.
Honestly, I think they're already seeing you a lot in like my vlogs and things. So that's Das, and this is Day, and I'm Ryan.
Hey.
Are you?
Don't forget to follow me on my social media accounts at Ryan Sierra, both on Twitter and Instagram. And also I'm gonna put up Das and Day's social media things. So make sure to click the link below.
Check it out.
You already know what it is.
Yo.
You know. So today, I don't know when this video is going up, but we are either approaching or today is Valentine's Day.
Right.
So
Somewhere
happy
around
Valentine's Day. Yeah, you know the vibes. So we're gonna talk about relationships.
I mean, home perfect. Yeah.
But not just romantic
Yeah. Not
relationships. We're gonna talk about relationships altogether because you know we're all been through a little something when it comes to my day is crying. Been through a little something. We got a little story or two. So yeah, we got all coffees.
Got it. Yep.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. You know. So yeah, we're gonna talk about relationships. So
Good morning, Bermuda.
Without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So for the past couple of weeks, because we've had this video planned for
8 years.
Yeah, it's been some time, and so the plan was to like create an outline for things that we guys can talk about, but my brain was fried and I couldn't think of anything. But I hit up Day and he had a really good question. So good. Take it away, Day.
So my question to you guys is, what are your relationship goals? And not just for your romantical situations with boys. Well, they should be men. They should be men, yes.
Not always.
Or women's.
Or women's. No women's.
You lot that image running over my head, but yeah. So anyway, continue.
What are your goals for like all of your relationships, whether it's friends, family, it could be romantical situations. But you know, what's your goals? You lot.
All right.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So the number one thing for me in any relationship is integrity.
Yes.
I need you to have integrity because
Major key.
people are shiesty.
Woo.
People just forget like the basic principles of you
They
reap
do.
what you sow and just
Do unto others.
love your neighbor. You know what I mean? And it's not to say, people will get on your nerves. That's inevitable, but you still have to have integrity, man.
This is true.
Treat people how you want to be treated. And, if you feel like you're going to treat them nasty, then just don't.
Don't do it.
And distance yourself. You know what I mean? But yes, integrity, definitely. Number one.
For me, I don't know if I can do. Did you say one?
I just said one.
But I don't know if I can put mine into just one.
We
Well,
can
then
go around.
say all the
We
things.
can go around.
So I think for me, and a lot of this stuff happens because of our past experiences, right?
Facts.
Yeah, what you want or desire or require changes or evolves. For me, I think it's trust.
Absolutely.
But trust in I'm gonna say trust/loyalty. Because those two things are very important to me.
Yeah.
I should be able to trust you. You should be able to trust me. And loyalty
You don't find it often.
Listen,
It's
right?
a remnant. It's a remnant.
Listen, loyalty, and I take that stuff so serious, like, because I just feel like if you're someone who's important to me, like, I will have your back to the end. Nobody could come at me about Day, nobody could come at me about Ryan. That's my sister, that's my brother. But, you know, and other people too. But same way, like, I expect the same in return. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and I am grateful that I have certain relationships that I don't have to be like,
You gotta question it.
Yeah.
Like, are they gonna, something's gonna happen and they're gonna tell them, you know, something I've trusted or confided in you with. So that's why I say trust and loyalty, because I feel like they both go hand in hand. They.
Well, since you like covered, I don't want to be a copycat, but I very much agree with those choices. Very important. And I think to round it off, kind of, I mean, I think there's more things too, but something that I'm trying to do in my life right now is just have fun. And some people
are born.
Basically.
You know, like just people that know how to enjoy themselves, you know, and can help me to enjoy myself. Because in this season of my life, I've always been very introverted. All right, this isn't therapy, but I'm just telling you. I was always a very introverted person. I'm growing out of it, kind of. And, you know, when I get around the right crowd of people, I can be very extroverted. But somebody who can, like, lead me or... Wow, I sound like I'm talking about romantic stuff. Even friends and people that can help me to have fun, you know, and know my kind of fun. Because not everybody's fun is the same, you know, everybody's different.
No.
So I think people that get you in that sense and know how to have fun for the occasion, I guess, or the person. So, yeah.
And it's so true. And he says that there are different types of fun because some funs just don't go together.
They ain't fun.
Okay?
Or what's fun to some people. I'm just like, for real?
Like, that's fun?
I'd rather just stay home.
Garbage.
Trash. Poops.
I was waiting for it. It's like, we should have a channel together.
Sip to that.
Right, yeah.
So I have a question. Have you ever been in a relationship, and just remember that we're not just talking romantical. Have you ever been in a relationship, anything where you feel like you compromised yourself?
Let's talk about it.
Wow. Ladies first, but yeah.
Lord,
I have experienced romantic relationships, friendships. So I mean, it depends where you want to go with this, sis. Because I have, especially like in my younger years, I feel like, you know, you're in the process of finding yourself. The truth is, like, you could be so easily compromised in that stage. Seriously, because you're kind of like, you don't really know who you are, and like life is a self-discovery journey, period. But at that, like, young, when you're like, I'm only 25, but like when you're like 18 to 21, to me, I feel like those are your like most vulnerable years, and you're like, just, what are you?
This is my sister, in case you didn't know, and she never knows my age.
she didn't even know my birthday.
I don't know nothing.
June 1st.
Look,
I just told her the other day.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Why are you lying? You did not tell me right.
She got it, but she didn't, you know. Yeah.
it's 21, right?
Anyway,
She just found out the other day too that I was 21.
so
But we're all related, you know. So,
I was confused.
when's my birthday?
March 15th,
What year?
1995. That wasn't good.
You know, and you know, see, this is why you can't take relationships. I mean, sorry, I take that back. You have to know your people, man. We're all family and we're close, and you don't even remember each other's birthdays sometimes. But we understand that.
So
Anyway,
what year I was born? Exactly.
1972.
Which was born?
I just made it, you like.
99. He literally just made the 90s.
Hey, you can't take it away from me. Oh.
Yes, you're 90s, baby. You can eat that.
This baby.
You just seem like you're like 80 in your soul.
Yeah. Dave. One thing about Dave, he's got a
Like,
mature
it's
soul.
not. How old are you? 21. He is not 21. Like, Jay is literally like a 35-year-old man.
Sometimes 75.
Yep.
Yeah. Like
But we all relate to that 75-year-old.
Yes, all
persona.
of us. All of
This
us.
is it.
Well, there.
We're there.
And I've gotten to this stage in my life also where I don't necessarily, I won't say it at all actually. I don't blame the other person for that.
There you go.
You know what I mean? But that comes with lots of experiences and spiritual growth.
Oh, come on now. Yeah.
Because we will blame the other part. It's easy.
It's easy.
It is so easy
It
to
is.
just say, well, they did this to me, or it felt this way, or, you know, well, I was with them, or they were, you know what I mean? It's just easy to do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I've spent a lot of time doing that. But in a lot of situations in relationships, and I would honestly say probably, okay, so maybe like 16 to 18 was mostly when I was compromised by friendships. The drinking, don't get me wrong.
She likes a little wine.
She likes a little red.
But I'm just changed, you know, because before, Ryan knows, okay, because we used to spend some Fridays doing some things.
Every Friday, every Friday, you lot after work, happy hour.
Every Friday. It was
With,
like it was a thing, like a couple other cousins, like, we just living our best life. But, you know, but to me, I wouldn't say that that's where we were. You know what I mean? We're just not there anymore.
At the same time, we were still figuring out who
Exactly.
And still are now.
And still are.
And still are.
So, you know, I spent a lot of time with different people. My friendships have evolved over the years, and it's about 3 people in my circle now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful.
Am I in your circle?
Anyway, so,
Oh.
anyways, you lost like too many people. Okay, so maybe 4 or 5. Like, I'll give it that because you guys are family as well. But anyway,
I get it.
yeah, you know, outside of family because
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, 16 to 18, I spent a lot of time with different friends, and you know, I'm grateful for all of these relationships, friendships, romantic chips, because
Yes.
they just help to mold me. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, those types of friendships or relationships, I'm just gonna use the word relationships, they just expire.
Mm-hmm.
You guys grow each other. You go on different paths in life, and so be it. You know what I mean? But romantically, I'm gonna be honest, those relationships are the easiest to compromise you,
Well,
and the hardest to kind of find yourself after that.
Hope
Like,
so.
you know what I mean?
Hope
Like,
so.
once you've been with someone and you kind of get set into that, and well, this is how the other person is, because especially as a woman, we're gonna go there. As a woman, a man can easily like have you, and it can go both ways. But I just say that because, you know, we're all.
right.
We're all
You know what that means.
Christian, spiritual lovers of God. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And we believe that, you know, the man needs to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt. When you believe that, especially, you know, and it's just easier for a man to do that. You know what I mean? You kind of just find yourself swinging. Well, it's okay. Well, I
Yeah,
love
you make up
him.
excuses.
Well, like this. And man can go through the same thing. This is in no way saying that it's just women this can happen to you. If you love your wife or your girlfriend, it can the same thing can happen to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily bad. Not meaning, sorry, your intentions are not bad. It just happens that way because that's the person you're with and you love them.
Yeah.
So, you know, I spent a lot of time doing that, and it took me a long,
Yep.
Let's just do one more. Just long. Say it with me, guys, one more time.
Long. And then.
I mean, long. It really took me.
Yeah.
These guys know my struggle. Okay, it took me a long time to get out of that. This, that, you know, some things. Praise God.
Amen.
My God versus my enemies.
Hey, come on, somebody. Yeah.
But yeah.
And sometimes your enemy's yourself. But anyway.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Ooh.
That's real.
Real.
That's real.
But anyway, yeah. Basically, just to say, you know, being compromised in situations is so easy and you don't even realize it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just really don't.
I'm gonna hop off. I just was waiting for you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, in that vein, something you went back to earlier, talking about guys leading the way and stuff. There's a couple things I want to say. Hopefully, I can remember. There's two sides to that. Some guys, some women, you know, they naturally want to submit. That's a whole nother conversation, you know, because you're not supposed to submit really till it's your husband. But anyway, we could talk about that another
It's your
time.
husband.
Husband.
So, but yeah, some women want to submit prior to marriage, and that's, you know, in a way that's good training. But then you also realize, like for me, you know, I'm still becoming a man who's finding himself, and I wasn't able to lead to a person. I wasn't able to lead a person that wanted to submit because I didn't know who I was. So for guys out there, you're trying to lead and you don't know who you are, okay, then it's just going to go sideways.
This is so real again.
Where are you going? You're going to fall off, you're going to take her with you, and then it's going to be messy, and it's just so going back to even the first point was basically just like, when you compromise, that's you not knowing who you are. And then everything else just falls apart after that.
Ooh.
So, you know, not everybody's perfect, but you should be trying to find yourself, and then that way, the more you realize who you are, I'm gonna just throw this in there, in Christ, then you will, you'll be able to lead not only your spouse, but your friends and everybody else around you better.
Yo, can I just say how much I love him?
So now you see the wisdom
Like, listen, you like.
that we were talking about.
And keep in mind, he's younger than both of us.
Both of us. I can definitely attest to that whole. I think for me, finding myself was definitely like that 18 to 23-ish, maybe even 24-ish. Let me tell you, like, first of all, Ryan thought she was going to be married at like
12.
Basically.
Basically. I think, well, I was supposed to get married at like 24, 23, 24. I think 24.
I mean, and that's not on some people. It's for some people.
Yeah.
It is. It is for some people, but the relationship that I was in, let me tell you how heavily I compromised myself to convince myself that this is what I wanted, this is what I needed, this is what God wanted for me. I'm trying to convince God that this is what
Help us.
this is what I need.
God.
My goodness.
You know what I mean? And it's like, now that I'm out of it, and I guess I'm kind of on the outside or looking back on that whole relationship, I remember that there would be certain points where I could feel like that tug.
Oh, let's not talk about the tug here. Let's not talk. I mean, let's talk about it.
The tug to leave.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like, this is not it.
Holy Spirit, that was
This
you.
is not it. But you try to do everything to, like, make yourself believe that this is it. Like, this is for me. This is good. This is good for me. First of all, let me just say, if you are in that situation, you are doing nothing but just causing more damage to yourself. If you feel that tug, that is God.
Yep.
And I need you to honor that, because ultimately He knows best.
Yes.
And He's doing it for a reason. And it may hurt, and you may cry, and you may have to rediscover yourself all over again, but it is worth it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like you're like speaking to me.
Yeah. Can I just say, in that vein, that is at that point when you are, denying God tugging you, and you are lying to yourself. That's when you become your enemy. That's exactly when you become your enemy. And I had another thing I wanted to say, but that's when you hurt yourself and you hurt everyone else. Go ahead, because I forgot my point.
Well, I was really just gonna say that when you feel that tug, also, right? Because you don't know. I felt that tug several times. over and over and over and over.
Yep.
And guess what I did? I just ignored it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say is, if God's trying to pull you in a direction, He's giving you all the signs. You feel it. You feel it. Like you feel it in your spirit. Like did you just see a spirit is just an uproar?
Yeah.
If you don't make that stop on your own, two things are gonna happen. Either or.
Yep.
God's gonna literally say, He's gonna push you. Like He's literally gonna make something happen that you have no choice but to leave, which is what happened to me. Or the second one is that person is going to continuously or something. I wouldn't even say, because it may not even necessarily be the other part. It could be so many things. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to make it seem like it's just has everything to do with a toxic person or they're a toxic person.
Yeah.
You know.
Well.
But something will continuously happen, and I keep saying like that person because for me that's what it was. Like stuff will continuously happen, pain, hurt, disappointment. Like you'll just face it back to back to back to back to back. Until it's like you're like, well, what are you waiting for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, for me, I ignored and I ignored and I ignored and I ignored and I ignored. And God said, oh, you ain't gonna listen, well, we're gonna do this today. Literally, you don't know. Like it was literally like, that's it. Like it was like today is today, and everything's gonna change. And just like that, it wasn't very pretty, but.
Go against out the wooden spoon.
Hey.
Cracks you.
You don't want to listen. You gotta feel. You gotta feel for real now.
Seriously, and that's it. Like you can't. Once his put something in motion, you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
You could try all you want, but it ain't nothing.
Nothing. Because God's will come to pass, regardless of how you feel about it.
It doesn't matter. There's no stopping it.
It don't matter.
So I mean, my suggestion is just to be obedient. You know? Avoid all the other stuff.
And some of us, and by us I mean everybody, we don't like to be wrong. You know, there's a pride thing, and we want to, this is the person, they buy me food. Especially I'm just be honest, a lot of you ladies, they buy me food. They treat me nice.
I like food.
But there's so much more than that, than other things. But saying all that to say,
these superficial things, these superficial things don't matter.
It baffles me that people just bank on that. You know what I mean? Like, they move to the next person because this person maybe stops doing that, or they don't do enough.
Right.
Whereas for me, don't get me wrong, I like a little nice little something here and there. You want to send me little flowers once and we get dinner. But like, to me, I need someone who is like, I know on a Saturday night, a Friday night, we can sit on the couch, some junk food, and talk about the future and God and our goals in life and
your perspectives
and past experience and how that made us better. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like if you gotta be like I'm sometimes too deep. Sometimes I tell people that I'm like, people wanna get to know me. People like I'm gonna say this right, real quick, because I'm sure a lot of women can relate to this. Men like the idea of having a woman. They like, oh, I got this girl on my arm, she's a nice little cutie, like, guys like that. But then when they figure out that, oh man, I'm gonna step up my game because she requires some stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's when the game changes.
Can I just add to that?
Sure.
Boys like the idea of having a girl on their arm.
Like she's a trophy,
like
a purse.
But even some people are relationship, what they call them, serial relationship purse, whatever. Serial relationshipers.
Okay.
Like they just want, they can't be single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like instead of, they don't really get to know the person to see if your morals line up. Like if your morals don't line up with someone, that is an epic fail.
That even trickles
your
over
values, all of that. You know what I mean?
To friendships.
What?
Like some people don't like to be alone, and they don't know how to be by themselves. So they will compromise to hang out with people so they don't have to sit with themselves. Well, what does that tell you about yourself if you don't know how to sit with yourself?
That's right.
Because I had to learn how to sit with myself in this quarantine, and I'm telling you, I was irritated.
Yeah.
So, that kind of thing trickles over just to, show it's not just a relationship, romantical ship thing, Yeah. I think.
But that is so true.
Mhm.
Like, people are just constantly just going with people because of how they look, or
Mhm.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, we know that eventually you kind of build something after you.
Yeah.
But do you really know that person?
Mm.
Like, do you really know them?
Right.
Like, the past traumas and all that type of stuff. But I just feel like, see, this is where I start going too deep, because this can go right over some people's heads. Like,
That's all right.
like people's past has such a big effect on their present.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean they need to be judged by it.
Yeah.
It just means, like, have you dealt with your past trauma?
Oh, come
Have
on.
you sat and talked about it?
Oh.
Did you go and seek counseling if needed?
Mm-hmm.
Like, those types of things. It's not wrong. We all go through some things.
Mm-hmm.
We all go through some things. But have you dealt with it? Because guess
Mm-hmm.
what? If you haven't dealt with it, you're just going to bring that same
Baggage.
over her.
Mm-hmm.
Bag lady
Mm-hmm.
or man.
Or man.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. And it also creates it lets you or allows you to be more understanding
Mhm.
when you see or when someone tells you what's happened to them in the past.
Yes.
At the same time though,
Oh, come on. I know where you're going. Help us.
you do
I did.
you can't use your
Oh.
past
Ooh.
as an
Excuse.
excuse for your behavior. We're grown now, or we are growing.
Come
You have
on.
to deal with it.
Yes.
You can't use that same bad behavior that you're doing, mistreating people, mistreating.
Well, since
whoever
it this
you-
to me,
Yeah.
or since okay, but on me, that's your past.
This is it.
But before you even get there, this is why you should be single, because you should be figuring that
Yes,
out.
You're who you are.
Figuring that out.
out.
Taking that time to say, you know what, let me fix myself, because I have to do that.
Take a season away from friends even. Because some people, they don't get it. They
And
don't
it's
get
not helping
you.
you to grow.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, and this is, we're being transparent here.
Mm-hmm.
After I got out of a really toxic relationship, right? Toxic.
Mm.
Sweet. And for a little while, I was kind of like off the radar. Like, I wasn't really going anywhere. Wasn't really talking to the people I normally talk to, because sometimes you just have to do that.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Most of the time, you know who I was talking to? Where are you looking?
I didn't know what's going
He's like, honestly though, and I say that because and your person, because at the end of the day, we do need people in our life, right? And Ryan too. But actually, it was probably
Yeah.
Ryan and Dave,
Yeah.
to be honest, majority of the time.
Mhm.
Because, and I say that because a lot of times you need to talk to people. You can't hold everything in, but you need people who align with you
Mhm.
and your wants and your values and
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. So me and Dave live in the same house, so it kind of always knocking on his door.
Man.
Because so Dave, you know what I mean? Just venting, but sometimes you kind of I use Dave, like I said, because it may not have been my brother if he wasn't the way he was, you know what I mean? But because Dave is so spiritually connected, it was good for me, because a lot of times when I found myself wandering or in my feelings, because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I just sit in my room and just be like, what is my life?
And that's real.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
seriously.
it's true.
But, they would just, sometimes you need someone who's going to check you, but you need someone who's going to check you in that way. You know what I mean? Not in a, what's your problem, or, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes they would be like, and I didn't know I was like to hear it, but he would say stuff like, okay, well, you made some choices and now you gotta ride it out, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and because for a little while, I even remember sometimes I used to say to him, like, when am I gonna stop feeling like this? When am I gonna stop feeling like this? Like, I'm so sad, you know what I mean? I was just not happy. And, they would just be like, you're not gonna feel like this forever. Like you be like, yeah, come on, you know.
Yeah.
But right now, this is where you're at, and you gotta just get through it. I'm telling you, Lord. When you come out on the other side, it's so worth it, okay? It's so worth it because now I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, 1 minute.
You learn from it.
I learned from it. Like, you know, you come through it and you see where you came from and you see the growth in yourself. You're just like,
Testify.
like one of my really good friends, he just said it to me. We went for breakfast the other day and she literally like just said to me, she said, can I just tell you something? So I was just like, yeah. So she was like, I am so proud of you, you know. And I was just like, she was like, I just think about where you were like last year. And when I sit and think about it, I think about where I was last year too.
Yeah.
Hey, I just know like, man, it feels so good. But guess what? The only person I could thank is honestly.
God.
Seriously. If that's what I even remember Day saying to me one time about how God allows, don't quote me.
No, you
know what I mean? I mean, I'll say word for word. But basically, it's just saying how God allows certain things to happen to draw you closer to Him. You know what I mean? Because you kind of get comfortable and you're like, dear Lord, thank you for waking me up this morning. Go about your business.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't really trying to build a relationship with Him. You know what I mean? You're kind of just like, you know, I know God, I'm grateful for Him. Thanks. On to the next thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you go through certain things, it's sometimes just like, that's why people who, you know, to each his own, you know, but when you don't really have that and you don't, like, what am I trying to say? If you don't have that spiritual father, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
Because when I'm going through stuff, like, sometimes they can't comfort me. I can't call my mama. She can't comfort me. You know, I'm an adult now. You know, I'm going to cry to my mama. Like, you know what I mean? So when you are good and you talk to God and you find that comfort, man, there ain't nothing like it.
It's true.
There is nothing like it.
Man.
And that comes with relationship with Him. But I'm gonna just rewind.
Come on.
To where you was talking about how you will go to Day because Day is spiritually connected and you know all the other positive reasons. It's important to know who to go to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When you need that humanness.
Yeah.
We all know who we can't go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people, it's just not it.
You know what I mean? Cause say if like when I went through one of my breakups or whatever, and I went to someone that I shouldn't be going to.
Yeah.
And they're like, you should knife his heart out and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
What's that going to?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So look, okay, cause I could talk about this. But
No, it's true.
Cush.
Honestly.
Because you will go to certain people and they like, and one of the things I went through with Des was just basically, there are short fixes and then there are authentic fixes for your issues. And whenever I have problems, I would go to certain people who, you know, were whatever. And and they would tell me to do some superficial things that might ease the pain for, you know, temporarily and would get you through the moment, but then you wake up, you think about it, a week later it comes back. But that's why I like, you know, getting connected to the right people. Oh my goodness.
So important.
Oh my, I'm just literally all I can do is smile.
Let me tell you like something. Like when I say getting connected with the right people, how much it makes your spirit feel good. Let me tell you, me, Day and Ryan go and sit and have our little coffee sessions or whatever. It makes me so excitable. Like it does. Like I leave her feeling so like positive and like ready for whatever's coming next. Like you know, and sometimes you talk to people and you just are like,
Yeah, okay. Like,
literally, literally, like, yeah, okay. Like, what did I get out of that? Did that feed my soul? Did I, you know, we talk about so many things.
Yeah.
Whether it comes, it starts at, you know, goals,
Yeah.
and then it will go to God and spirituality. Then we'll come back to like
Yeah.
YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? We just talk about so many different things, but we align with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that just hey.
And what I'll say to your point is, on your point, when I go to people about stuff, I really I'm there to learn something.
Yeah.
Subconsciously or even intentionally, I'll be there, and I want help. I want to learn something. And with some people, you go into conversations, and they can't teach you anything, but they are also themselves not teachable. So I have conversations with certain people, and they, you would just want them to, not want them, sorry. Having friends that aren't teachable, or acquaintances, family members, whoever, is I'm not going to say worst, but it's terrible.
It's trash.
People that aren't teachable, you can't grow because you think you know everything, or you just don't want to learn more, and it's just like,
At the same time, you know nothing.
And like having the same conversation and having conversations with this type of people, it's just like, you know what it's like? A revolving door. Like literally, you can't get out.
Go ahead, go
And you'll literally be sitting there like, you can't get out. The conversation goes around and around and around, and you're literally trying to get out of but you can't, because the person is just not. They're not open. They're not listening. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes and I'm still learning that today, because sometimes I talk today and even Ryan, and I don't like what they have to say, and I'm just like,
That's literally her face. That's
it.
literally
That's it.
her face.
But you know what? Like later, even if I don't take it in that moment, later when I'll think about it and I'll just say, you know what? And I'll apply it to something, and then I'll be like, hey, boy, like, you know what I mean? That was so true, or that was so relevant, you know what I mean? But it's just like when you try and have conversations with people who are just like, now I'm to the point now, that's how I know that I'm definitely growing, because when I start to have those conversations with those types of people, even if I don't know them, and it's like my first time having a conversation, once I feel the conversation get about to go there, I'm gonna be honest, like I'm kind of just checked out by it. Like I'm just like hearing you, but you ain't gonna get nothing, because I can feel it. Like, and I'm not gonna put my energy into this conversation if it's not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We're not gonna sit up and talk about the same thing, and you're gonna put me in your revolving door.
Man.
I don't want to get in there. Like, you know what I mean? That's it. Like, so I'm gonna just let you, and when you start hearing the,
Right.
That's how you know, like, I probably shouldn't be saying this. People's gonna be like, oh, she ain't listening. Like,
I'm
because
not good at that.
honestly,
People probably know that I'm checked out.
he's very readable when it comes to that. Like, I've seen times where we're sat in a place
At things.
together with other people, and people who start saying things, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna just give you an example. If there is in a place with anyone, and he starts hearing swearing, I am not a saint, but a little swear pop out every now and again. So I repent for my sins. But they, on the other hand, like, it's about progression.
Progression of a perfection.
I am a work in progress. But if Day hears that, like, he's very removed after that. If you start, F this, or,
Like, you can't go 2 words without.
If you're like every other word is a curse word type of person, like, you literally see Day, like, almost, like, you can feel his spirit kind of walk out, like, his spirit, like, yeah, I'm gonna be out. We gonna do this later. And he just, it's just like, his body is there, but he's probably reading his Bible in his like honestly, and that, but in all honesty, I respect that about him, which is why, and I know a lot of people do too, because when you come around Day now, and I always feel bad talking about Day like this, because people be like, that's my brother, and shit, and money like that, but his friend's cousin, I'm sure she'll vouch for his behavior. But people like that, when you have a respect for him, you don't do that. You know what I mean? So, like, even like I know Dave's friends are probably the same way. I'm like that. Like if I'm around Dave and even if I say a curse word, I could be around 7 other people and I say a bad word. I say sorry, Dave. I ain't really worried about anybody else. Oh, sorry, Dave. Like you know what I mean? It's just respect level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just saying all that to say that when your spirit's on the line, just like daily spirit, you just walk out the room. Like
Go on.
honestly.
Talking to Jesus.
Honestly,
Which is why your friendships should be equally yoked also.
hello.
Well,
Because I could talk about some friendships that were ripped apart.
come on.
Because they were unequally.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, praise God for that.
He uses all things. Thankful. Have mercy. There's times, kind of going back to that compromise. Got it? One more?
I'm good.
Going back to kind of compromise a little bit is sometimes we will know what's best for us, but we will feel guilty about wanting to do it. And that's just another level of compromise. You know, sometimes for me, especially in my friendships, I know what's best for me. In moments, I will be prompted to say certain things that might cause a awkward moment.
Ooh, we talked about this.
But I don't say it because I would feel guilty for the other person or feel bad that.
in the past.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, I don't do that no
I
more.
was gonna say not now.
Yeah.
'Cause now.
Yeah, I would feel guilty, but now, you know, one of the things when I was away in school, we actually did a class on, no, we didn't have a class, we actually had they called the boys in, the young men, the people, the boys, male humans.
What you say?
I was low-key thinking that. They called the male humans into a meeting,
It's irritating me. I just want the male humans. Like what, man?
the male part of the species.
Okay, go
They
ahead.
called us
Go ahead,
in
male human.
to talk about calling out situations, whether it was about gossiping or just not talking about the right things, and to speak up about it, even if you would become the awkward person, even if people would leave the room afterwards, because it's better to do it and have that awkward moment than to compromise and let those what would you call it? Let those what's the
Crazy things happen.
Yeah. Let people kind of just feel comfortable in being dumb, for lack of a better word. I'm sorry. I was very.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That makes me very passionate. And ignorant, my favorite word.
Favorite word. His favorite word is ignorant.
So, a lot of people get comfortable in the ignorance, and I okay. Blue 18, blue 18. Hi. Okay. Sorry.
Bless me, because no one said.
Oh, bless you. You didn't really get it out, so I don't know if it counts. But basically, people get comfortable in the ignorance, and one of the things I feel the Lord has called me to do is call people out on the ignorance, and it's not always fun. I mean, but I think it's the right thing to do, to call people out. I was trying to wrap this into what you were saying.
Well, I was gonna say
help me out.
that we have to do that because that is the problem with today's society.
Oh, ooh.
We let things slide.
Everybody lets things slide. I don't want to ruffle no one's feathers.
But it's under the table.
I don't want to, I don't want to cause no rifts.
I don't like bothering nobody.
I don't do the confrontation.
That's the
like,
one.
you know what I mean? Oh, and that's the thing. I've even been guilty of saying that. Like, I don't want to cause any confrontation. I'm not a confrontational person. No, I'm not. But it's nothing wrong with telling people what bothers you. Like, you know what I mean? If you say so, listen.
Come on now.
I'm just learning how to make
Right. Then, no. Let me tell you something. In my younger years, I'm still young, but in my younger years, I was very much So I'm gonna just go back real quick. When I was in primary school, I was bullied a lot.
Yeah.
So when if that happens to you, you kind of grow to be a people pleaser.
It's so hard to believe that you were bullied.
Why?
But children are mean.
This is it. Like, people used to tease me and say that I was. My eyes, I have bonky eyes. My eyes are big, but they are beautiful.
Come on now.
Cute. From my mom. Big up Juju. Anyway, those are the types of things I got teased about all the time. You have big eyeballs. Da, 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 da. Children are mean, like you said. And
you need lips.
I was called fat, all sorts of things.
What?
Yes, girl. Real life.
But like,
Real life.
you was never fat.
When I was young, I was a little chunky.
No, you was not.
Well, I'm telling you what the children used to say.
Yeah, that's true. You believe lies sometimes.
You do.
Who?
Children.
We're the two.
And honestly though, I'm not gonna lie, like my eyes were the biggest. Like I got teased about that so much when I was little. Like so much. My eyes. My big eyeballs. That's what people used to say. Literally, that's what people used to say. Your bonky eyes. Look at your big eyes. You got some big eyeballs.
Tell them what they say in your DMs now, though. Oh, look at your beautiful big eyes.
No, but
no, stay on her DMs.
big problem.
I just want to say I'll slap all of you.
Oh, you don't.
It's my squad right here, you lot.
Anyway.
But yeah, so you know, that's what I was thinking. It wasn't hurt to talk about bullying, but you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just saying it's all a cycle, right? So when I was younger, I was bullied. As I got older, like, you know, everyone handles situations differently. You know, when you're bullied, some men turn out to be aggressive as they get older. You know what I mean? It can be you want to prove yourself. Like it can go so many different ways.
Yeah.
But for me, like that turned into kind of like being a people pleaser. So that's where the compromise of myself came into play a lot when I was like teenage years, I guess, trying to fit in. And my dad used to tell me all the time, "You are not meant to fit in."
Oh, come on.
And guess what? She's so right. She used to tell me all the time. She used to say, "Destiny, just because everyone else is, but when you're younger, you don't see that. You're just like, well, everyone else is doing it. It's cool. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
But when you get older, it's just like, I'm not meant to fit in. I am different.
Yes. Sorry. I just want to say, I'm proud of her.
Real proud.
She went through a season. I'm gonna testify on you real quick. She went through a season of everybody else does it, and I'll just putting it on front. Transparency. That was you and Judy used to argue all the time about that.
I know.
Okay, everybody else does it, and I was just like, stop. But hey, she's growing a lot.
Yeah,
Now she
I don't
like
even.
nobody.
I don't. Like I don't even care to fit in anymore. Like I don't want to fit in.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. I don't want relationships like everyone else. I don't want marriages like anyone else. I want my godly ordained marriage.
Come on now.
So if God sends me that man, hey boo. Anyway, so where was I? Oh right. So it's my teenagers compromise. Then I went through this word patch like where I was just, like you all knew, like a lot of the friends I had when I was like 18, they ain't gone anymore.
They're not.
And that's fine. You know what I mean? I wish them well. I have no issues with nobody. Like I hope everyone's flourishing in their life. But my friend circle has changed drastically.
Yeah.
And the friends that I have now, I probably met them when I was like 23 and above, I guess. Yeah, 22. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and those are the friends that I have now, including Day and Ryan, but that's family, so they don't count. But I'm ultra grateful for them. But I was saying all that to say that once I got past that stage of trying to like, losing friends, picking up friends and all that type of stuff, like you just get to the point where you just don't care. Like if you don't like what I have to say, bye. Like, you know what I mean? And I can't remember one of my cousins said it the other day. We went on to dinner, I can't remember who it was. But they were just like, yeah, that's your favorite word. I don't care. I don't care. And I mean it, like, I'm not meaning it to say, like, I don't care, because I care about a lot of things. I care about a lot of people. But as in, how people feel about me, I just don't care. People can look at me sideways because it's like, oh, you, like if I like I said, I am not perfect, but I try to live according to God's will. Like, I want to be married before I have kids and all that type of stuff. we don't know what's going to happen in life. And some people, you know what I mean? This is nothing against anyone whose life didn't pan out that way, but that's just what I want for myself. You know what I mean? And people say, "Wow, that's not how it always happens," and you're very right. And a guy said that to me one time. He must have said to me, "Oh, he just had a baby, blah blah blah." I said, "Congratulations." So he said, "Oh, you got no kids? You don't want no kids?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I got my husband."
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Well, that's not how it works," or something along the lines of like, "Oh, it doesn't always go like that." And I'm like, "That's very right, but that's what I want for my life, for me, destiny, power." And I don't want to hurt your judgment because that's a choice that I make. So anyway, that's why I was just trying to say that like I just really don't care what people have to say anymore about my choices. You know what I mean? And you learn that even in like the people closest to you. And you know, my mom is my biggest supporter. She is, hey, that's my hair skilly. But you kind of almost even learn that when you get older, sometimes you and your parents don't know it's a line. Like, you know what I mean? She trained me and molded me into, you know what I mean? I'm grateful for her. Her and my dad even married all these years, so you know that was a good example of what marriage should look like. But meaning, everyone's journeys are different. That's what I mean in regards to that aspect of life. You know what I mean? Just because my mom experienced certain things, my life 20-something years later is very different from hers, you know? So I just think that, you know, sometimes you kind of just have to be okay with making your own decision based on, even if no one agrees with it. Like, Ryan and Dave may think that something I'm doing is a little shaky, you know what I mean? But if I feel it deep in my spirit and I'm prayed about it and, you know, then it's okay. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to kind of be okay with people's disapproval. Friends, family.
Yeah, everybody's different. God works people in different ways.
But I was trying to basically say what they were saying as like calling people out, not being afraid to be you, basically, and what you stand for.
And I think I'm actually just learning that, you know.
Yeah.
Like being myself. I'm 20. You know, I get 29 this year. I got 29, and I would say probably in the last year and a half, 2 years, that I am just now exercising me being me and being me unapologetically.
Right.
Because I have a right.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's funny because, okay, Dad said that she was bullied in primary school. I think, not even I think, I was bullied basically in my adult years. And a part of it is my fault because maybe it is like kind of people pleasing, but I'm the type of person, I will drop everything for someone, right?
That's true.
And because I do that, and some people recognize that, they will take advantage of that. You know what I mean? And I don't know, where did I see it? It was either a post or a video, but actually it was a TikTok video of this guy. Remember I was telling you a lot of that guy who starts his videos with, let's have a little Bible study? And he was I can't remember his name. If I do find it, I'll post it down below or on the screen. But basically, this guy was saying that not everyone is worth you dropping everything for them. You know what I mean? Because in the end, you're gonna exhaust yourself.
Yes.
Which it was for me, definitely. And to basically do it for those who are worth it. You know what I mean? And also do it for those who want to be helped.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something, when you talk to someone and give them advice, but in the end they don't want to be helped, you're basically talking to a brick wall. And we all go through it. Yep. I was like that at one point. I'm sure Das was like that. Das was like that at one point.
I was. She like.
and Dave, you was like that?
No.
I have.
I was just gonna say.
I mean, he used to like break his PlayStation and stuff. But that's when he was like a minion. That's like you said, another conversation.
Yeah.
But
on another channel maybe.
On another channel.
Oh, I was saying that I was bullied in
Yes,
like
yes.
my
Get back to that.
adult years or,
Yeah.
or what I was. But my whole train of thought is like.
Was it like that did it impact you basically? What you saying, kind of?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, so it's like I put this responsibility on myself to,
please people.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I always need to be there. I have to be there, type of thing. I'm gonna just be real.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that with family functions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything. If the family was getting together, oh, I have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay not to be.
And there's a little backstory to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna put that on this video.
Yeah.
Because it's like a little personal.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's out the window now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember even with me, I wouldn't like some family function stuff, but even just I remember stuff with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I didn't want to attend certain things, because I'm gonna be honest, like I saw a quote that said that, you know, get used to or be more comfortable with calling people your acquaintance, your co-worker, not everyone's your friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a vast amount of people that I know.
Understand?
And a lot of times, you know, I've been invited to certain things, you know, and sometimes because I just know that I won't gel with certain people because of the type of person that I am, I don't feel comfortable going. And I used to feel so bad. Like, because I'll be like, you know, I really should be there. I don't really go too much, da-da-da-da. And then I was just like, but if you don't feel comfortable, if that's not your, why should you go? And then you're gonna go there, you're gonna be sitting there by yourself because you don't really feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But I also learned, which is something you learn as you get older, your friend circles change. My friends now also know me.
Yeah.
So back then, my friends didn't really know who I was. It was just a matter of, you're my friend, you should be there.
Mm-hmm.
But now, the friends that I do have, if it's something that they probably think I may not be interested in, like, they may invite me and they'll say, but I know you.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you don't want to come, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never feel bad for not attending things.
Yeah.
No.
For
You know
real.
what I mean? But, like I said, that's just, like, I'm going to put her name in there too. It's alright. She won't say no. One of my good friends, Taylor. She says that all the time. She's just like, I just know you. Like, anytime she invites me anywhere, we make plans or anything like that, she's like, I just know you, so you can just let me know. But we're both like that with each other. Like, you know what I mean? We have such a good understanding of each other's personalities. Like,
Yeah, I was just gonna
Understand
say that.
I'm telling you, like, when I say, this is what I'm telling you, when you meet certain people in your life, it's just like, this person has been, every single person in my life now, I just know that they're supposed to be here. They're not friends I question. They're not friends that in 5 years I'm like, oh, we probably ain't gonna be.
Because you can have soulmate friendships.
Hey, when I say that we say that to each other all the time, that we are soulmates friendship wise,
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
say that about each other all the time because we're just like the same person. Like literally, like we literally say there's like literally nothing that we think that we could stop speaking about. And we even say like if we got into a disagreement about something, it's not one of their friendships where you're just like, you know, whatever, we don't speak. I just feel like we would be like, this is my sister. You know what I mean?
Let's
I don't-
talk about it.
And I don't have them types of, you know, it's not many of them out there.
When I say talk about it, I don't mean put shady posts on social media.
Wow.
Or hello, or
Subtweets.
or
What happened, babes?
Subtweet.
or nothing. You know, you know, people pleasing and stuff like that. But I used to find like after I got past the people pleasing phase, I guess I was in that intermediate stage where I was just sick of everyone. So that's when I used to fly off the handle all the time, and I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
This, you know what I mean? I was just crazy. So it's like I said, that's why it's a process. It's a process, but you have to want that for yourself.
And in line with that, I'll say this. From a very young age, for me personally, I didn't know it at the time, but I was very sensitive to the conviction of the Holy Spirit not to not people please, I guess. like Des could tell you from a very young age when I was invited to birthday parties of friends that I had, whatever, and I was just like, no. And she'd be like, that's your friend? You're terrible. You're a jerk. Why don't you go to their birthday party? You know? And she still calls me a jerk now. But I just didn't go because, like she said earlier, you know, some people there you just knew weren't good for you. And, you know, I can be friends with you, but I don't have to be friends with your friends. And that's just something I was sensitive to from a very young age, was just not to put myself in that position. So saying all that to say, the change comes with listening, like we said earlier, to those prompts from God to move yourself. You have to be obedient, because if not, then you end up in those toxic friendships, and you end up with people pleasing, and you end up with this.
Or
that.
bring stuff out of you.
Exactly.
That is, yeah.
You get around certain people that will bring stuff out of you that is not even who you are.
Yep.
You're just there because you're compromised. Everything's tying in now. You compromise yourself, and you just be obedient. Yeah. You know where you shouldn't be, and you just go there, and then you end up, you know, asking yourself, why did I do this? How did I get hurt? But it all started with that one, I guess I'll do it. Don't do it. That's all I'm here to tell you. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah. So anyway, that is all that we have for you lot today. Please stay tuned. We'll got plans or something. You know, so just, you know.
Excitable.
Excitable.
Can't wait.
So, so that's all I have for you lot today.
Yes.
I hope that you found this video helpful, and the whole video, you guys, you know, please hear our hearts in this. Hear Jesus.
Come on.
You know what I mean? And we're really just trying to help people, because it's a struggle.
It's
It's a struggle, and we don't know a lot, but the little we do know,
If it helps somebody.
amen. So, I'm Ryan.
I'm Dick.
And I'm Das.
Signing out. You remember that, Das? When you said that?
Like, dear.